guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you've had a wonderful day. Please forgive my really messed up fingernails. It's time to get them done. But I wanted to come out and make a video because today I had a horrible accident. I deleted all of the files from my SD card in my camera. And on that card, I actually had 7 videos queued up and ready to go because I need to send my camera back because it's defective. So I wanted to bank some videos so that I could have videos during the time it would take the camera to go back and a new camera to come. Well, that didn't happen because I lost everything today. So I am in the process of recreating some of the projects that I did. And so this particular project I think is just absolutely adorable. And it looks like a little mini purse, but it also looks like it could be a box. So what it is, I'm keeping in line with my embellishment theme. So what this is an embellishment box, and inside of this box I've got one of the paper flowers that I showed you in an earlier video, and it is the one that I did in the shape of a wrist corsage. So it's just in here for demonstration purposes to show you how this box can be used. And the box has an acetate lid, and it's absolutely the cutest little thing. So let's get started on making this. To make the outer part of what I'm going to call the purse part of the box, we need to lay down some chipboard. So I have a piece of chipboard that measures 1.5 by 4 3/4, and I am going to place that in the center, or as close to the center as I can get it. And then we have 2 pieces of chipboard, and this is medium weight chipboard that I'm using. We have 2 pieces that measure 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I will place that down with about a 1/8 of an inch spacing allowance. Then I'm going to turn this around this way because it's easier for me to work on my right side. And then I'll lay this one down using the same 1/8 of an inch spacing allowance. And I'm going to flip this over and just smooth it out. And then I'll come back and I'm just going to start folding it to train my paper on where I need for it to fold over onto the chipboard. And then I'll come back with my scissors and I am going to miter cut my ends. And then I will show you again the little trick that Francine Langlois suggested for anyone who might be a little bit apprehensive about their miter cuts. This is a great tip. So you're just taking those little triangle pieces that we just removed and you're placing them in the corner. So in case you did go off just a little bit on your miter cutting, I'm trying to get this right. I think this one goes up here. It does. And the reason why I'm being so particular with where I'm placing this is because I have directional stripes. So if you are a little bit off on your miter cutting, when you fold over the paper, you will already have paper down so that the chipboard won't show if your miter cutting is just a little bit off. And let's place this last one down. And that's how it looks. And it was a great tip by Francine. I think it really helps out a lot. So let's go ahead and fold this over. Then I'll turn it and do the opposite end. And then I'll do the other side. Okay, so we've got our purse outer part all covered in paper. And now we need to go ahead and attach the decorative portion here. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to do that. So we need to start with 2 pieces of paper, and I've already done one, that measures 1.5 by 6. And we're going to score this at 1/2 inch and then 1 1/8 inch, and then burnish. And we'll start by folding in on the 1 1/8 inch side first. And I'm just gluing this down. And then I'll do the same thing over here. So I am just going to fold this over and glue that down. And then I'm going to just run it along my bone folder a couple of times just to kind of get it ready to be folded. And then what I have here is the piece that's right here. So what I have here is hardware from an old purse that I had. And what I like to do is when I have old purses or anything that has a decorative piece on it, when I am done using it or it's worn out, but it has some really nice hardware on it, I'll take the hardware because I know that I can use it somewhere, sometime in my crafting. And these rings here are actually a part of a purse that I had, and I cut them out before I discarded the purse. So, you know, you guys might want to take a look at some of the things you have around the house or in your accessories collection and see if they can be repurposed. So the way that we make this is we are going to take our ring, take the strap, and then fold the strap over. And we're going to place some glue on this fold part here, on the smaller piece. And then we'll come up and let that glue dry. And while the glue is drying, we can go ahead and take our mini brads and just punch a hole and run the brad through the hole. And I'm only going to put 1 mini brad on both sides of this ring, but you could put 2 if you like, or you could put more. It's all just your personal preference. So that's how it looks. And now I'll take the other one and do the same thing with it. So I'm just running it through, folding it over, and then I'll place my glue right here on the smaller part, and then I can hold it just to get it settled. Come back with my piercer and punch my hole. Then I'll place my brad. And that's all there is to that piece. So let me move my brads out of the way. And now I can take this, and because both sides are the same, it really doesn't matter. But if I had a side that had patterns on it, I would pick the side that I thought was the prettiest in order to place my decorative piece. So then at this point, all I'm doing is I am stretching this out on here, just like that. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I am going to remove just a little bit of this because I don't need all of that extra bulk. And on this piece, I'll just go ahead and place some glue and wrap it around. And then I'll look at it just to see how it's doing. And I think that's good placement. So I'm going to come back with my bone folder and just kind of smooth that out. And then I can turn it, place my glue on this side, fold this over, and then look at it from the front just to make sure that both sides are even. And I think that's good enough. So let's go ahead and just work that down and make sure that glue stays nice and stuck. Okay, so now we get to place the liner piece on the inside. And what I'm going to do is just run some tape on here. Didn't mean to put that much down. I'm going to cover my joints with tape. And then I'm going to tape this up, remove my tape, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now I can lay down my liner piece. And my liner piece measures 4.5 by 11. So let me get this in place. Smooth that out. I'm going to come back in with my paper towel and just work that glue in, especially here on the sides where I've got the bulk from putting down that decorative strip. Get my ends nice and tight. And then I am going to just fold up. And then I'll fold up again. So this part is done. We can set this to the side. And now we need to make the box. We need a piece of paper that measures 10.5 by 10.5. And we are going to score this at 1.5 and at 3 on all 4 sides. And you don't need to worry about writing down any of the measurements for this project because all of the measurements will be in the description box. Fold and burnish all of our score lines. Okay, so all of our folding and burnishing is done, and we will have 3 corner pieces on each end that we need to remove. We need to just take these out and get rid of them. So that is what I will do. I will do one of them with you guys on camera, and I'll do the other 3 off camera just to save us some time. So all I'm doing is cutting up to the second score line. And then I'm going to come in on this piece here, and I am just going to angle cut the tab, and then I'll remove these 2 pieces all together. And then on the tab again, I am going to angle cut outward towards this piece. And then here, I am going to just do a slight angle cut, nothing deep. There. So when I'm done, all 3 pieces have been removed, but you can see that I have got this little triangle in between. That's where I'm doing the angle cutting. And what that does for me is it just simply makes it easier for me to get the box put together. So I'll do the other 3 sides and I'll be right back. Okay, so all of my end pieces have been cut off, and now we can put our box together. And when this box is completely together, it will measure 4.5 by 4.5. So I am just gluing up my tabs and folding those in. I'll come back with my bone folder and just smooth out that glue. Do the same thing on this one. Place glue on these two tabs. Pull them up. Come on the inside with my bone folder and get that glue nice and stuck. And then this is my last one. Okay, so now I'm going to fold these top flaps backwards, and I have 4 pieces of lightweight chipboard that I am going to place inside of this box. So this chipboard measures 1 3/8 by 4 3/8, and all I'm going to do, I've already put tape on it, is I'm simply going to slide it in on the inside. And what this is doing for me is just helping to make my box a little more sturdy. And so there you can see I've got chipboard sides in this box. And now I can take these and glue them up and then fold them in on the chipboard. And when that glue hardens, it too will help to strengthen the sides of the box. Okay, so there we've got a pretty sturdy box, and it measures 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. And before I place it down, I'm going to go ahead and do my handle, because I need for the glue on the handle to harden before I try to put it on the bag. And I've already done one, and I'll do the other one with you guys. And this handle measures 11 by 1 1/2, and it is scored at 1/2 inch and then at 1 1/8 of an inch. So on the 1 1/8 of an inch score, I will glue it down first. Get that stuck. And then I'll place glue on this 1/2 inch score line, and then I'll fold it over onto the 1 1/8 inch. And to make sure that this has a chance to really dry, I am simply going to help that glue to get spread out by running it along the edge of my desk. And then I'll go ahead and place the 2 brads on both ends, and that way I can set this to the side and go ahead and put the box down inside of the purse. So all I'm doing is punching 2 holes. And I will insert my brads. And these brads will not have a real function except decorative. They will not help to add any support to this box. And I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to punch my holes. And put in my brads. And now this will have a chance to dry while I'm working on the other part of the box. So as you can see, I've got this box glued to the base here and then coming up the back. And that's what we're going to do with this one. So here's the front of my bag because it's got the decorative piece on it. So I am going to take my box and glue it down here and glue it back here. So let me go ahead and just add my glue. And I will be very generous with the glue because I don't want any of this coming up. And then I'll do the same thing on the back side. All right, so now we've got this ready to go. And what I'm going to do is just place it right here and back it up to that. And then I'll bring it around to the front and I'll look on both sides. So I'm looking to see if I have both sides even. And I'm okay with how that looks. So now I'll come back in with my bone folder and just start smoothing down the glue to get this stuck. So I'll pick it up at this point and then come around to the inner part and go around that so I can really smooth out that glue. Bring in my paper towel and clean up any glue that's seeping out. And I'll come back and just make sure I've got this stuff. Okay, so now we've got everything down nice and neat. And now I can place the magnet. So what I'm using is the 2-prong magnet, and this is the piece that goes here. So it's the fatter piece, and it always goes down. And then this piece here always goes on whatever flap you're using. So I'm going to put the two together just so that I can come back and position where I want this to be. So I'm going to take this, and all I'm doing is placing it where I want it, or where I think I want it. And then I'm just going to press down into the chipboard with these prongs. And what that does is it gives me this impression. And hopefully you can see that. So then at that point, what I'm going to do is come in with my little X-Acto knife and go through. And now I can take the fatter part and put it in. Just like that. And because I can't get my hammer in here, I am going to have to take my needle nose and come over the top and just close it that way. And I'm not going to worry about this because it won't be seen. And now I have this piece. And this is the piece that I'll be attaching this to. And basically it is a 1.5 inch strip by 2.5, and you can make yours longer. And all I'm going to do is position it right there, and then I'll fold it back. And I want to bring, so I positioned it just like this. And then I want to bring this up so I can make sure that it's where I need it to be. And then I'll take some glue and put the glue on this. So it's like this. And I'm putting the glue right here. And then I'm going to put it back into position the way that I need for it to be. And I'll bring my lid down on top of it so I can get good placement. So what's happening is the glue is going to leave a mark on this top piece here. And I can come back and just smooth this out. I'm just going to smooth that down so that that stays. And then I am going to come back with this, place that there, and then I will just simply come in and just kind of get a spot. I'm going to press down just a little bit, but I don't want to bend the box. And that's going to give me just a little bit of positioning so I can see the impression mark. You guys might not be able to see it, but I can see it. And then I'll do the other side. And then I'm going to take this piece, push this through. Make sure that it's going to fit. And then I can open these prongs up. So I'll put it back through. Open the prongs and flatten them out using my pliers. So there, we've got a flap on to keep this closed, and then I want to cover the mechanics of that. So I've got this cute little brad, and I just took the prongs off of the back of it so that it would lay down. And I am going to just take some glue and place glue on here. And then I'll take this and just put it down right over the prongs. And I'm going to lift this up and then just squeeze this down. Get that excess glue. And I don't know about you guys, but I think that just looks so good. So the last thing that we need to do is put on our handles, and we are done with this except for the acetate lid. So let's go ahead and place the handles. And I think my handles are all nice and dry now. So what I'm going to do is, let me open this back up because it'll be easier for me to work with. And I am simply going to place my handles like this. So I am going to run some glue just like that. And I'll take my handle, lay it in the glue. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm eyeballing it. And I'll just place my glue. And then I'll place my handle. Okay, so let's place the last handle. And I am going to just look at this from the front and just kind of eyeball it. And let me place this one down. And then I'll bend this one over. That looks pretty good to me. And I'm going to place some glue on this side. Try to eyeball the same position as the other one. And I'll put this down and stick it and hold it. Don't you guys think that that looks absolutely just adorable. That's the only word I can come up with because it is so precious. So now we get to place our acetate lid. And because acetate is just so difficult at times to work with, I have already cut and scored this. So I have a lid that measures 7 3/8 by 7 3/8, and I scored it at 1.5 on all 4 sides. And then what I did was I notched out the little tabs. I just removed them completely because we don't need them. This is going to fit down inside of the box. So at this point, all we need to do is take the lid and put it down inside of the box. Just like that. And then you can fill it with all types of goodies or little trinkets, mini perfumes, whatever it is you want to put in. This is perfect for that. So I wanted to make sure that you guys got a good look at these. And I hope that it's a project that you are interested in trying. So if you like this project, please hit the like button. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel, but you just happen to drop by and you really like this, I would love to have you join my online family. So I hope that you guys will give making this project a try, because I think that you'll find that you really like it, and you'll also find that it's very versatile. So if you do decide to make this, I would love to see pictures of your creation. Y'all have a great night and happy crafting.